PharmaPal.
You're listening to Bloomscast, the official podcast of Blooms.io, home of the bioactive library for mass spectrometry instant optimization. Let's dive into the latest in natural chemistry, bioactive discovery, and the future of lab innovation.
Today, we're unlocking the incredible world of phytochemicals.
Yeah, these tiny powerhouses found in plants.
Exactly. And they aren't your basic nutrients, are they? But they seem packed with potential health perks. They act like a plant's own defense system, which, well, might benefit us too.
That's the idea. We're exploring these bioactive compounds, as the sources call them, phytonutrients. They shield the plants, and potentially us, from disease.
So this deep dive, we're really getting into the science connecting plant-rich diets to better health. And importantly for, anyone studying for exams, we want to pull out the core knowledge, make it clear, memorable.
Definitely. We'll cover where this focus came from, scientifically speaking, how they actually work in our bodies, the mechanisms and the key categories, the stuff you want to really lock in for recall.
Okay, let's start with a bit of history then. Our sources point to, a shift back in the 1970s. The focus wasn't just on basic nutrition anymore, proteins, fats, carbs, that sort of thing. People started looking harder at how food choices impact long-term health.
Yeah, things like cholesterol's role in heart disease or links to cancer became major areas of interest.
And that really set the stage for what our sources call the phytochemical revolution in the 80s and 90s.
Exactly. A huge amount of scientific exploration started then. Researchers were really looking at plants as this incredible source of medicinal compounds, other useful stuff too. And what's really fascinating is just how many of these natural chemicals showed real promise. Boosting helpful processes in the body, maybe hindering harmful ones.
Absolutely. And since then, there's been a ton of research showing the strong link between diets high in plant foods and significantly lower rates of cancer and heart disease. Some of the data is really striking.
It is. So for studying purposes, that's a key link.
Yeah.
Plant-rich diets associated with lower risk of major diseases. But, and this is really important to remember, it's nuanced. Phytochemicals aren't universally good in every single situation, especially not in high doses from supplements.
Okay, yeah, the sources mention that caution.
Some evidence, interestingly, even suggests certain isolated biochemicals, even some vitamins as supplements, might actually inadvertently help cancer cells grow in specific situations.
Wow.
Which is why there's sometimes caution about using them during, say, cancer treatment. The key insight here is that whole foods are different from isolated supplements.
That's a crucial point. So the natural package deal in the whole food seems to be where the magic happens.
Pretty much.
And this understanding is kind of driving the idea of functional foods, right? Eating not just to survive, but to actively support health, maybe even tailor diets later on.
That's the direction things are moving in, yeah.
Okay, now for the really interesting part. How do they actually work? For exam prep, understanding these mechanisms is absolutely key.
Precisely. So let's break it down into categories to make it easier to remember. First up, antioxidant activity.
Okay.
Many phytochemicals basically protect our cells from oxidative damage. Think of it like rust-proofing for your cells. This damage is linked to higher cancer risk.
Cellular shields, got it. Examples.
Good ones to remember. Allyl sulfides, think onions, garlic, leeks, carotenoids in fruits, carrots, flavonoids found widely in fruits and vegetables, and polyphenols, things like tea and grapes, have lots of these.
Okay, antioxidant activity, protecting cells. What's next?
Another big one is hormonal action. A classic example is isoflavones from soy.
Ah, yes, heard of those.
These compounds can sort of mimic some effects of human hormones, like estrogen. This might help with things like menopausal symptoms or support bone health, maybe helping prevent osteoporosis.
So a gentle hormonal influence, potentially.
Exactly. Then you have enzyme stimulation or interference.
Okay, influencing enzymes.
Yeah. Some phytochemicals can boost helpful enzymes, like indoles in cabbage can help the body process estrogen differently. Others can block certain enzymes, think protease inhibitors in soy and beans or terpenes in citrus fruits and cherries.
So they can speed things up or slow things down, enzyme-wise, fine-tuning things. Got it. What else?
They can also interfere with DNA replication.
Whoa, okay, that sounds fundamental.
It is. Saponins, which you find in beans, for example, seem to make it harder for cancer cells to copy their DNA and multiply. And capsaicin, the heat in chili peppers, that's thought to help protect our DNA from damage by harmful stuff.
So stopping bad cell growth at the source powerful.
Mm.
Any other mechanisms?
Yep, a couple more key ones. Some have a direct antibacterial effect. Allicin from garlic is a well-known example. It helps fight certain bacteria.
Okay.
And finally, there's physical action. Some phytochemicals literally stick to cell walls, preventing harmful bacteria or pathogens from latching on.
Like a physical barrier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The proanthocyanidins in cranberries are famous for this, helping prevent urinary tract infections and maybe even helping dental health by stopping bacteria sticking to surfaces.
Wow. Okay, so that's a really diverse toolkit they have. Now, our sources really stress this idea of synergy. What's the main takeaway there?
This is super important, and it explains why we don't have RDAs, the recommended daily allowances, for individual phytochemicals. The sources are clear. Most phytochemicals seem to work best together. They interact, creating a synergistic effect. The combined benefit is often way bigger than just adding up individual effects.
Like a team effort inside the food?
Exactly. It's like a whole orchestra playing, not just one instrument. And it's not just phytochemicals interacting with each other. They also interact with other nutrients, and the same phytochemical might do different things depending on what else is going on in the body.
So complex.
It really is. And all these complex interactions make it basically impossible to set specific targets for single compounds, which again circles back to the idea that eating a variety of whole plant foods is probably much better than focusing on isolated supplements.
Right. Whole foods are the way. Makes total sense. Okay, let's dive into the major categories. This should be really helpful for, memorizing the key players. First up, carotenoids. What do we need to remember?
Carotenoids. Think color. They're the vibrant pigments, oranges, yellows, reds in plants. The main ones measured in humans are beta-carotene, alpha-carotene, lycopene, lutein, and beta-cryptoxanthin.
Oh.
Key idea. Eat the rainbow. They're linked to potential cancer prevention, vision benefits, and interestingly, these pigments are also vital for the plant's own photosynthesis process.
So, essential for the plant, beneficial for us, and some convert to vitamin A, right?
Yes, exactly. Alpha-carotene, beta-carotene, and beta-cryptoxanthin are pro-vitamin A carotenoids. Others like lutein, zeaxanthin, and lycopene don't have that vitamin A activity.
Got it.
Now, while diets rich in these foods are linked to lower risks of heart disease and some cancers, the supplement story is, well, mixed. High-dose beta-carotene supplements didn't show the same benefits, and, as we mentioned, were even linked to increased lung cancer risk in smokers.
Yeah, that's a critical distinction. Whole foods are better. What about specific ones like lycopene or lutein?
Well, lycopene, especially from tomatoes, seems associated with a lower risk of prostate cancer. But again, supplements haven't been proven to do the same thing.
Okay.
Lutein and zeaxanthin are interesting. They concentrate in our eyes. Diets rich in them might help slow down age-related macular degeneration and cataracts. But the supplement evidence is less clear.
So, lycopene. Think tomatoes and prostate health. Lutein zeaxanthin for eye health, primarily from food sources. Where do we find them?
Think colorful.
Yeah.
Red, orange, deep green veggies and fruits. So carrots, cantaloupes, sweet potatoes, apricots, spinach, pumpkin, tomatoes, all great sources.
Right.
And a practical tip for better absorption. Remember this one. Carotenoids are fat soluble, so eat them with some healthy fats.
Okay.
Cooking veggies in a little olive oil, adding dressing to your salad, that helps. Also chopping, pureeing, gentle cooking can make them more available to your body.
Good tips. Maximize the goodness. Okay, next category. Flavonoids. Sounds like a big family.
It is. A huge family of polyphenolic compounds from plants. And interestingly, their health effects seem to go beyond just being antioxidants. They seem to modulate cell signaling pathways. Basically how cells talk to each other.
Okay, influencing cell communication. What are the main types?
The main subclasses to maybe keep in mind are flavones, flavonols, catechins, anthocyanidins, and isoflavonoids. It's a lot, I know.
Yeah, quite a list. And the health benefits linked to them.
Diets rich in flavonoids are associated with potentially lower risk of cardiovascular disease and cancer. This might be because they can reduce inflammation, blood clotting, maybe lower blood pressure, help detoxification, and even inhibit cancer cell growth.
Wow, a wide range of potential actions. Where are they found? This seems like it could be complicated.
The sources are incredibly varied, which is good news. Anthocyanidins give those vibrant colors: berries, red grapes, red wine. Flavonols, which include catechins, are big in tea, especially green and white. Also chocolate, grapes, berries, apples. Flavonols are mostly in citrus fruits, oranges, grapefruit. Flavonols, widely spread, onions, kale, broccoli, apples, berries, teas. Flavones, think parsley, thyme, celery, hot peppers. And isoflavonoids, key ones are in soy, soy foods, and other legumes.
It really is a natural pharmacy in the produce aisle. Any interactions to know about?
Yes, a couple. Flavonoids can bind to non-heme iron, that's the iron in plant foods and supplements, and might reduce how much you absorb.
Oh, okay.
So drinking tea, which is rich in flavonoids, with an iron-rich meal, could hinder iron uptake. It's probably wise to avoid flavonoid-rich drinks or supplements right alongside iron-rich foods or supplements, especially if iron levels are a concern for you.
Good practical tip.
There's also some early research hinting at possible interactions with vitamin C, but we need more human studies on that.
Got it. Avoid mixing with iron, basically. Okay, next up, phenolic acids. What's the deal with these?
Phenolic acids are another big group, really widespread in plants. They're getting a lot of attention for potentially protecting against diseases linked to oxidative damage, again, heart disease, some cancers. They also play roles in the plant's own growth and defense.
Right. Examples?
You might hear names like ellagic acid, ferulic acid, caffeic acid, and curcumin, the compound in turmeric.
Curcumin, yeah. And their main benefits for us.
They're known for having mild anti-inflammatory effects and being potent antioxidants. Similar mechanisms to flavonoids in some ways, helping protect against cell damage.
Anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, where do we find them?
Tea, coffee, berries, lots of fruits like mangoes, grapes, strawberries, apples, also potatoes, mustard, oats, soy. And the source reminds us about coffee in moderation. Those phenolic acids are beneficial antioxidants. But, too much caffeine can have downsides, so balance is key.
Moderation, always.
No.
Okay, moving on to phytoestrogens. The name gives a big clue.
It does. Phyto means plant. Estrogen, like the hormone. So plant compounds with estrogen-like effects. In plants, they often act as defense against fungi. Key examples are genisan, diazyme, and lignans.
Okay, plant estrogens, potential benefits.
Foods rich in them might help bone health, maybe reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease, and potentially some hormone-related cancers.
And food sources.
Think nuts, oilseeds like flaxseed, soy, and soy products, cereals, breads, legumes, whole grains.
Okay, soy, flaxseed, nuts, whole grains. Now, you mentioned earlier there's some nuance here, especially regarding development.
Yes, the source does include an important note here. Because hormones are so crucial for development, there's been research looking into high levels of phytoestrogens during pregnancy or infancy. For example, one study noted a possible link between vegetarian diets and pregnancy, which can be higher in soy isoflavones, and a slightly higher rate of a condition called hypospadias in male infants. Other studies looked at infants fed soy formula, suggesting potential links later in life, like maybe more allergy medication use or different menstrual cycle characteristics for females.
That sounds like something people should be aware of. What's the consensus?
Well, it's complex, and research is ongoing. Some big reviews concluded more study is needed but didn't find strong evidence of widespread negative effects on growth, development, or reproduction from soy formula compared to cow's milk formula.
Okay.
But they also stressed that breast milk is always best for infants. So the source basically advises some caution about very high levels, especially during those sensitive developmental windows, and notes that we're still learning.
That's a really important clarification. Okay, last main group. Organosulfur compounds. Definitely sounds like sulfur is involved.
You got it. Organic compounds containing sulfur. Examples include things like allylic sulfur compounds, indoles, which we mentioned earlier, isothiocyanates, and others found in specific veggies.
And the health claims.
These are thought to offer protection against a pretty wide variety of cancers, also potentially reducing risk of stroke and cardiovascular disease.
Okay, cancer and heart protection, where do we find these?
Your alliums, garlic, leeks, onions, chives, and your cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, kale, also horseradish, mustard greens.
Ah, the brassicas in the onion family. Makes sense. Any tips for cooking, especially with garlic? I feel like I've heard things.
Yes, this is a great one. When you crush or chop garlic, you release an enzyme called allinase.
Okay.
That enzyme helps form allicin, which is a key beneficial organosulfur compound. But heat can deactivate that enzyme quickly.
Right.
So the tip from our source, and widely suggested, is to let your chopped or crushed garlic sit for about 10 minutes before you cook it.
Ah, let it rest.
Yeah. This gives the enzyme time to work and form more allicin, potentially preserving more of the benefits even when you heat it.
That's a brilliant tip. Crush, wait 10, then cook. Got it. So overall, it really seems the message is loud and clear. Eat a wide variety of plants.
Absolutely. That's the best way to get a good spectrum of all these compounds working together.
And the source had some practical advice for boosting intake.
Yeah, pretty straightforward stuff. Aim for veggies every day, salads, Steamed, sautéed, roasted, whatever you like. Focus on variety. Eat fresh, seasonal produce when you can. And don't forget fruits. They're packed with phytochemicals too. Even things like unsweetened fruit purees or berry juices can contribute.
And simple things like olive oil and lemon on a salad help too.
Exactly. The 5-a-day guideline about 2 cups of fruit and 2.5 cups of veggies for adults is a solid starting point. Our specific source didn't list the UK Department of Health's 10 plant foods, but the core idea is the same. Diverse plant intake is key.
Right. Eat a variety daily. Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive on phytochemicals, it's clear they're fascinating compounds. Incredible potential benefits, antioxidants, hormone influence, enzyme effects, antibacterial action.
A whole range of actions.
And for those studying, remember those 5 main categories? Carotenoids, flavonoids, phenolic acids, phytoestrogens, and organosulfur compounds. Knowing key examples and food sources for each is really helpful.
And probably the most crucial takeaway is that synergy idea. While we study individual compounds, the science really points to the combined effect in whole foods being the most powerful.
Yeah.
It's that complex interaction, the whole food matrix, that likely delivers the biggest benefits.
A really important perspective. You know, considering this huge, complex world of phytochemicals and how much we're still learning, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other amazing benefits might plants hold for our health down the road?
Definitely a field with a lot more to uncover.
Thanks for tuning in to Bloom's Cast, brought to you by blooms.io. Stay curious, stay connected, and we'll see you next time on the frontier of natural product innovation.
PharmaPal.